of blocks, it does not inspire confidence. Where were you when this fellow was putting up an illegal structure? It should be demolished on the second day after the fellow has begun demolishing. But you wait until it is completed. Then you say it's an illegal building. You know, that fellow probably has a loan. You have allowed him to complete the building. You have allowed even tenants to go in, and then you come and demolish. It does not inspire investor confidence. I think my minute is over. I'll stop there.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I think it has been brief and clear on exactly, I think the governance, you've noted what the Ambassador said. I'll now quickly move to Senator Rose Nyamonga. Just tell us, what is the role of Senate in enhancing investor confidence? What role does Senate play? How does it come in this discussion? Welcome, Senator.
It was not my wish, but we were offloaded actually from the plane because of the temperatures, and you understand that more than I do. So we had to remain and then take the first flight, I think, at 6 to arrive here right now. So that's why I'm late, but I'm very glad, and I want to thank all the organizers for this. It's a very, very important meeting for all of us. And from where I sit, I would like to say that it is very important that as people in the diaspora, we should understand that your role is very, very important. Just as it is very important for us people back home that we do the right thing. And if we look at this journey as a journey that is a joint effort, where we should support each other and not even point fingers at anybody, then that way we may move faster in developing our country. So as a senator, and the last parliament I was a women representative, right now I have an opportunity to serve as a senator. We all know that with the constitution, the 2010 constitution, our constitution of 2010 brought on board the devolved units. And with devolved units, there was the creation of the position of senator. And senators, in my view, and from what I understand, we are supposed to support the devolved units to make sure that it works. Because all along we were saying that at the national level, services don't come to our people. But with devolved units, it means that we must now go down and reach the lowest person. And the most important thing that we should do is to make sure that the devolved units are supported, they get enough resources, and also to look at the prudent way of using the resources. And apart from the money that is expected to come from the national government, and even from your people in the diaspora, and I wanted just to give figures. Let me just give you figures so that you understand that your role in the development of Kenya is very important. Now, in the year 2016, Central Bank indicated that Kenya received an average of total monthly remittance of US dollar 220 million in the first 5 months. That is this year. Last year. This year, it has risen. No, last year it was 160 million per month. This year it has risen to $220 million per month. So that's a lot of money. And the income from the diaspora is now even surpassing our original foreign exchange earners like coffee, tea, and all that. So the diaspora is now at the top. So it means that you play a very important role. And us back there, it is important that we make it viable for the county governments to operate in such a manner that the common mwananchi and each and every person who was meant to have benefited from the county governments benefit. To support the county governments and to make sure that the money is used in a prudent manner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator, for being brief and for those figures. You can see how important the investors, the diaspora is. I'll now quickly move to Dr. Jean Njoroge, Diaspora Business Representative. What are the challenges that you people in the diaspora are going through when you want to invest back home? Please give us an overview.
So thank you. So just to say something, for the diaspora, we have the skills, we have the technology, we have the money, so when I hear you saying investors, are you putting us at a different category from foreign investors? Because there's foreign investors and then there's us. We are passionate, we have the will. You know, we love our country. So put us in that investor category. You know, so because they come into the country, they invest their money, they are expecting a return on investment. That return on investment is not going back to Kenya. It's going back to the United States or to the foreign land, wherever they are coming from. But we in the diaspora invest in that country, we're investing in our people, we are investing in our resources. So that's one. So the second part is that we would like to partner with you guys to invest in technology. You know, we are used to the technology that works. We know how it works, we know the efficiency, we have used it, we have developed it. You know, so we would like to help you figure out how to get that technology to help you work and help you get some efficiencies. You know, so we in the diaspora, we have it. I can tell you, we have everything you need. We just need to figure out a way to partner together and work together. We have the money, we have the technology, and we are passionate. We are passionate. And so for me personally, I'm passionate about women in technology and education. You know, one of my good friends is a computer scientist, and she goes around this country training teachers in high school for to help the teachers understand the role of technology in development. So another thing is that Governor Nano talked about that's very, very dear to me is research and innovation. I'm a researcher. I have worked in education. I know the role of National Science Foundation. Right now, the US have these programs that when you work in a company, you can take a sabbatical for 1 year and go work for the government to help them figure out what does the future look like, you know, from a part of technology and the problems they are solving. So those are some of the things from and we have diaspora people that have done research, you know, very, very innovative research that can help, you know, from a county perspective, even leading all the way to the central government. But it usually starts with the counties, you know, so the county feeds into the national government. So with that, I think that's my 1 minute.
Thank you very much, thank you very much. I just want to clarify, the governors have come here to meet the Kenyan diaspora, to come back and invest. So you're the investors. We are not looking, I don't think there's any other investor in this house apart from the Kenyans. You say the women caucus have already raised over 800 million USDs. We need that money back home. So we want that money back home, please. That's why we've come to talk to you. I'll quickly move to Honorable Eric Mwangi, MCA, to tell us what is the role of the County Assembly in building investor confidence in Kenya. Please, briefly, 1 minute.
Thank you very much. My name is Eric. Let me start by saying that as county assemblies, we have vowed to make sure that county governments are stable. You may have realized that this second term, sorry? I was saying that you may have realized that this second term of devolution, the members of county assemblies that we have are now articulating issues objectively, and I've told Excellency Governors that, and I'm going to repeat it here in this meeting, that there will be no witch hunting, there will be no impeachment, because these are the things that puts off investors. And our rules are very well stipulated in Article 185 of the 2010 Constitution, that we are going to approve policies that are going to be brought into county assemblies from the executive. And by this, we are going to make sure that we create conducive and stable, a conducive environment for investment, and stable governments that will attract and boost confidence of investment. So as county assemblies, we are committed to join hands, to work with governors so that we can have stable government. And even though we are going to comprehensively play our role of oversight, we are still going to join hands and work together. One, for the common mwananchi, and two, for investors to make sure that there's conducive environment for investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, governors. I think he has assured us there'll be no impeachment. I think that's what was derailing investor confidence. When the governor hears is going to be impeached, hakuna kazi governor atafanya. So thank you very much if you're going to reduce on the impeachment. I'll now move to control of budget, Agnes Odhiambo. Kindly tell us what is the role of national government. You're the people providing resources to the counties. How will the money flow so that the governors get money to put infrastructure for the investors to come? Quickly, in 1 minute, just tell us what's the role of national government. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Session Chair, and thank you for this opportunity. I want to start by stating very clearly, and you all know this, the new constitution established very strong oversight institutions. And I'll just enumerate a few of them. Parliament comprising of both the National Assembly and the Senate is now a very strong institution in the budget making process, right from formulation through to execution. So that should give our sisters and brothers a lot of confidence that you have strong institutions. The other one is the Office of the Auditor General. Very strong now, and I will demonstrate from the resources that are being given to these institutions to even make them stronger. We have the Office of the Control of Budget, which was not there. This is a new office that was established to ensure that resources are approved for only budgeted projects and programs. We have ESCC, Ethics and Anti-Corruption. We have Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Judiciary, the county assemblies, again, a new institution that was established to oversight the counties. We have independent commissions that, again, are new. So just to demonstrate how important these oversight institutions are, I'll just give you figures on the amount of money that the government is now allocating to these institutions to make them strong institutions. I'll start with Parliament. In the year 2013-2014, the budget for Parliament was 22.3 billion Kenya shillings. That increased to 34 billion in the allocation for 2018-19 is now 34 billion, meaning that budget has grown by over 50%. The office, and this is just recurrent, this is the budget to ensure that this institution is performing its mandate. Office of the Auditor General, in the year 2013-14, the budget was 2.6 billion. That budget has increased to 5 billion. The allocation for 2018-19, again demonstrating the importance that the government is placing on that oversight institution to ensure that it discharges its responsibilities. The Office of the Auditor General is now represented in all the counties. The Office of the Control of Budget, from a budget of 371 million in the year 2013-14 to 618 million in 2018-19 allocation. Again, demonstrating the importance that that institution really holds. ESCC, the budget has increased by about 127% over that period. Office of the Director of Public Prosecution by 127%. Judiciary by 15%, but the development budget in that period, 2013-14 to 2017-18, has been 17 billion. 17 billion has been allocated to the judiciary to improve the infrastructure. The courts are now very presentable. So just to conclude, I want to say that because these institutions are now very strong, transparency and accountability is being felt. So I encourage you, brothers and sisters, come back home. We are there. We are taking care of your money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very good assurance from the control of budget. Transparency and accountability is now there. I'll now move to His Excellency Governor Paul Chepkoech. What the diaspora is raising fears on their money disappearing. They are getting fake people, cheating them that they'll invest down in Kenya, then their money gets lost. What are the counties doing to reassure the diaspora that their money will be safe in the counties? What conducive environment is the counties going to do so that we make sure that the money from diaspora is safe and it doesn't go to the wrong people? Governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair. Let me take this opportunity again to introduce myself. I'm the Governor of Kericho County, Professor Paul Chepkoech. A few issues about Kericho here. Number one, Kericho is the most international county in rural Kenya. Why? We have multinational companies that have been there for close to 100 years. Finlay's, Unilever, Williamson, and they are not about to go. So it tells you that in Kericho we are taking good care of our investors. But I want to say what we've done since I became governor in 2013. And I want to support what the ambassador has said. When you reduce levies, actually you attract investors. When I came to office, I found that these multinational companies were paying 90 shillings per year per acre. And the temptation would have been, because this is so small amount of money and these are multinational companies, let's raise the land levies. But we chose not to raise the land levies. Additionally, we reduced levies for generally the small businesses in Kericho. And the consequence is that our revenue has increased sixfold. The other thing that we've done in Kericho County is to make sure that, and this is to safeguard members of diaspora, survey and physical planning is now under the county government. I did release Executive Order number 2, in which levies are now paid by the small scale farmers in Kericho County, and especially the small landowners. So what is happening is that now land rates, which used to disappear to pockets of thieves, is now coming to county governments. And we are now getting more money through land rates than ever before. And to take care of the diaspora, we have a diaspora office in Kericho. The Minister for Water has been sourced from United States of America. My political advisor is one of you. And this is taking care of the interests of those of you who've been in America. And the Minister for Education has been sourced from the United Kingdom. So basically, these are people who know the sufferings that you go through, where you send money home and it gets stolen by your relatives. So what we do in Kericho is to make sure that we track any investment of diasporans, and then we make sure that these guys are the ones who are taking care of these particular issues of the diaspora. I want to say finally, the county government of Kericho also provides infrastructure to areas of investment. If you buy land and you want to develop, the county government will develop a road to investment. It will provide infrastructure. It will also make sure that it facilitates acquisition of power. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think Kericho is leading by example by having an office for the diaspora. I'll now come to the final panelist. Then after the final panelist, we'll take a few questions, especially from the team from diaspora, so that the governors who are here can listen to your concerns, so that we know exactly where do we synergize in terms of the challenges you've been going through. So I'll move to Maggie Ongele, the diaspora millennial rep, to tell us furthermore on exactly what they expect from the national and county governments so that they can get a conducive environment for investment. Over to you, Maggie.
Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I am so honored and beside myself to be involved in this, to be sitting next to Governor Ngilu, who I've known all my life, and here she is. Oh my God. So I'm very honored and very humbled and very excited to be a part of this, not just because I'm a little starstruck, but also because I'm a student of government. I practice as an attorney, but I also handle issues of government affairs here in the States, which is a whole different animal, as you can imagine, compared to Kenya. I came up with a list of a few different issues and needs or suggestions that millennials from Kenya might have. Bear with me, as you know, we are known as the most entitled generation to ever grace the earth. So if I sound a little bratty, you did this to us, you raised us, right? All right, so I want to start off by saying there's definitely interest in investing back home. That is not anything to doubt. We heard the 200 million number. Most people that come here, including most millennials that come here, show up when they're adults. You could be late teens, but you're an adult. And by that time, your sense of home is set. So Kenya is home, I was gonna say period. Kenya is home, full stop, right? And one thing that you develop when you leave home is a strong sense of patriotism. And you're more aware, you get a global view. You no longer look at yourself as Maggie from Koru, Kenya. You look at yourself as a Kenyan, right? And you realize that there's a lot that is not kind of meeting the expectations that you're having met in this country. So those are a few different sorts of vantage points and things that ways in which we're looking at investing in Kenya and just ways in which we look at the world. We also come from a collective culture. We're not a culture of individuals like Americans are. So we're definitely raised to think of back home, think back to our relatives back home. But we remain with that broad perspective and a new experience that is different from Kenya, and it gives you a more clear image of what you're not getting from back home. So having kind of laid that predicate, there are two overarching issues that I've heard from the different millennials that I've spoken with. The first one, broadly speaking, is security, and it touches on a bunch of different things. Governor Ngilu mentioned earlier predictability. That's my first point. So we're not always aware of where the processes that have to do with any business that we're investing in or any investments that we're getting into back home, where the processes are outlined. Timelines are wishy-washy. There's always, frankly, somebody to be paid off, and then you have several middlemen and everybody kind of wants a cut. And with that unpredictability, comes hesitation, obviously. A friend of mine who has some intellectual property, they work in IT, and they have a software that they're wanting to bring back home, and they're worried that not being aware of the process, the timelines, is someone going to get a hold of my intellectual property and turn it around and sell it? Because Kenya is a hot IT market, as unadvanced as we are. It's a place where I think IT investors and people in technology are interested in investing. There's no transparency, corruption, which I touched on, accountability, and security. So back to the broader view that you develop when you come to a different place where processes are more fruitful. You hear news from back home, and a lot of times it's bad news. Food security, resource security. So for example, the drought that we heard of up north, or the locals that are closed off to the benefits of having minerals in their communities. you hear about that, and then, for example, the scandal with Kenya Power, like a couple of days ago, or Kenya Youth, you know, the money that was channeled through a personal account through a phone. I mean, how can you get millions from the government and channel it through your phone? I mean, that's scary. So those are some issues, and many of the panelists have touched on them, but there are issues that remain, and I'm very excited that I heard Governor Nanak actually pointed out a bunch of different things that are being done or that are being thought of that will bring about accountability, progress. But the second overarching theme that I've gotten in speaking to a lot of my millennial contemporaries is opportunity. We would like to have some opportunity. Let me not be too greedy here. We would like some opportunity. You know, the reason that most of us are in America is because we don't have opportunity back home. So, you know, there isn't a huge population of us here because we were like, yay, let's go hang out with Trump and take their jobs, and, you know, we don't want to be here because we're stuck here. You know, anywhere you want to go because you want to go there. And so creating more opportunities for us, and I think it starts with information.